Welcome back to the shop. I'm Jason, and today we're working back on the Street Queen, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be installing a dual REDTIGER F77 dash cam. Let's take a look at what comes in the box. So in the box, we're going to get our primary head unit dash cam with a 3-inch touchscreen here on the back, as well as our 4K rear dash cam. I believe this is an industry first for a 4K front and rear dash cam, which is pretty cool. And I wanted to say a big thanks to REDTIGER for sending this out to me to give it a shot. This is not a sponsored video, so it's going to be my opinion and hopefully they like it. We're also going to get a super long cable to go from the front to the back, which is going to be way more than enough for our truck. A communication cable, which is just a little USB-C to connect to your computer. You get a cigarette lighter adapter, a couple of pry tools, some little clips to hold your wires, and a spare mount for the front or the rear, plus 2 spare stickies. I also opted for the Hardwire kit, which we'll be installing on the truck. And in that case, you're gonna need something special. You're gonna need a DVOM or something to check voltage, and a map of your fuses so that you know what you're looking at. I've already mapped out which 2 fuses I wanna use, neither of which are used on this truck, so we should be good to use them. There are a couple considerations when it comes to the actual mounting. Obviously, you don't want it in the way. I've got my little edge monitor up here in the corner, which does block slightly this corner, but being a truck, we're up so high, we have great visibility. You also want to be able to reach it in case you need to hit the buttons, but one of the good things with this unit is it does have voice operation or voice control, so you can do a lot of the commands without actually having to touch it. So in my case, I'm going to try to hide it back here outside my field of view, right behind the rear view mirror. In the kit, you get a couple of these electrostatic mats that are sticky that you stick to the windshield. Honestly, I've never used these to install a dash cam or any accessory on the windshield. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot for this one, but instead of having this big old thing on there, what I did was I cut one of them down into a nice small square. Does anybody know why they use these? Drop it down in the comments and let me know. Nice spot right there. We're gonna wanna bench test this before we get too far in the truck, but I'll get the mount on. This little clip here slides off. Looks pretty even. So right here on the camera, it says to read the manual. Did that. We're gonna do a bench test. So we're gonna do that here on my bench. And it also lets us know that you don't need to put an SD card in because it has the eMMC storage built into it, which is pretty nice. Oh, that's nice. All right, we'll go through our startup manual. Let's see, I don't know where I'm located at. Pick your time zone. With our time zone picked, we can see both cameras here. Got my little filmer, got me. This is the rear camera that I'm holding and the front camera looking down. On the camera, you can connect your Wi-Fi, and that Wi-Fi connects to the REDTIGER app, which is one of the ways that you download and pull everything off of it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my make and model year in and then connect to the camera with the password provided. All right, you can see I'm connected to the camera, so I can go into preview and I can see both cameras here. I can go back, go into my settings. There are limited settings, it would seem, from the app versus in the actual camera. You can see all those here. So loop recording 1 minute, speed, miles per hour, G sensor sensitivity low, and so forth. You can change what you want and then go back into the camera to change the rest. One interesting thing is when Wi-Fi is on, you have to connect the device to your phone. When Wi-Fi is off, you can do everything from the device. So that's just a little tidbit to know there. We can go back into our settings, change everything. We're gonna go ahead and set this up with a Hardwire, and then we can set the rest of these things as we go and get this thing worked out. So I know that I'm gonna wanna run my wires up and across here. The headliner's kind of peeling. One thing to note that is if your windshield's ever been replaced, oftentimes the installers might put too much glue up here. That glue will squish out and it's gonna get stuck to the headliner, much like mine is in this corner here. That, or whoever tried to glue the headliner back up, glued it in. So tucking the wire up there is gonna be a little more difficult. What I'm gonna do though, is I'm gonna pull the center console off of the roof so that I can try to squeeze in here a little bit better. And it's just got 1 screw right up here at the front. And technically it should pull down, that the little clips don't break. Okay, and then you have a whole mess of harnesses up here that you don't need to play with. Now, I should be able to fish across here a lot easier. I might even pull this guy down to give myself some more room. And then to get our wires down, we're gonna go through the A-pillar here There's a clip right in here that likes to break. Mine was broken in the past, so I know it's kind of glued in there. And you can see, there it is, still stuck. And don't forget you have a speaker connection down there. I'm using a little grabber to grab the wire. Then I'm gonna try to snake it across. Oh, I lost it. Yep. All right, we got one through. I just gotta go back for the other one. The thicker cable goes to the rear camera. And unfortunately, these are both 90 degree, which means you're gonna have a cable going both directions. So with it like that, we're gonna have to try to figure out a way to tidy these up. So I decided instead of zip tie to use a little bit of Tessa fabric tape. This is like what the Europeans use on all of their wire looms to try to give it a little bit more neat appearance and keep it clean back there. I'm gonna stick my head all the way in there. You can see my fabric wiring looks nicer than the OEM just plastic tape that's on there. So for the corner here, I'm gonna push our wires up and back past where the sun visor mounts. That way, any of the gravity pulling down on here doesn't try to pull them out the front. To get our rear camera cord, we're gonna pull the seals and tuck our cord all the way along the top to the back. Should be pretty easy. We're just gonna follow that harness right across there. We're just gonna fish our wires down to the fuse box. In the A-pillar, I'm just gonna use some regular electrical tape, since this won't be visible, to get all of our cords neatly tied together. Don't forget to plug in your little speaker. One of the unique things that I'm finding with these GMT 800 platforms is it would seem that they're built pretty universally. The Tahoe, the Silverado, the Yukon, the Escalade, with the fuse boxes and everything. So I have a rear wiper fuse that has power when the ignition is on, but clearly there's no rear wiper. So I'm gonna use that for my ignition on circuit. And then I have aux power 2 manual gate, or M gate. I'm guessing that's for a lift gate that I also don't have, that is hot all the time. And I'll use that for my hot signal. And we're just gonna use these fuse jumpers that it came with to get our power. And then we can wrap the rest of these up and tuck them back here out of the way. Perfect, you wouldn't even know. So because we can hook the camera up to our phone, figuring out the rear placement is gonna go a little bit easier. In my case, I have a sliding rear window, so I don't wanna move it over to the center where ideally you would wanna put it. So I'm gonna slide it over to the side here, pick a spot, and then we'll stick it in place. Then we can go out and get some footage of this thing running and see exactly how it looks both day and night. All right, here we are inside the REDTIGER media player. Now I've gone ahead and I turned off the audio in these clips because I would probably get copyrighted. I will say what was interesting is there's audio recording from both cameras. So depending on what happens, there was a bit of echo and overlap between them. What's really nice about this though is, especially for insurance or something of that nature, it does have the GPS, it's got the speed, it's got everything right there on screen to be able to show people. There are a bunch of neat features inside of it. You can switch between one of 4 cameras. Obviously I only have 2 here, but you can go back and forth, you can see both, or you can see whatever it is in between there. You can show GPS stamps, you can do zooms, you can even go wide frame, which I'm not sure why you would need to go to the negative, but it works both ways. It goes all the way up to 2x. If you take these clips out into another media player, it goes even further. Like in my editor, I can go as deep into zoom as I want. So you can see the daytime clips are pretty clear as expected. Even with the really dark window tint on my back window, I can still see license plates, road signs, and everything that you might need. It's a little bit different at night. So in the player here, you can go through, pick different clips. It will load up the front and rear camera at the same time, and then you can start checking them out. What you can see here is the front. There's quite a bit of halation and glare on things. Some license plates you can read, some you can't. I don't have any window tint on my front window, but my back window, well, like I said before, in the daytime, it's pretty dark. That front camera though, I can still see road signs, I can see cars, I can see everything that I could possibly need for insurance. The rear cam is going to provide a great insurance kill too, because if somebody rams up behind me, they can't say I backed up or did something. I mean, what are the reasons really that you want a dash cam? You want to be able to prove that you were not in the wrong. So overall, the install took me about 45 minutes solo. My camera guy was watching more than helping. Easier than expected for an old truck. I love that there's no SD card. It's got a great warranty. And if you're wiring reverse, you can just plug it in using the cigarette lighter. This F77's front and rear camera at 170 degrees of viewing gives you lots of angle to see everything that you need. It's DIY friendly and truly packed with a lot of features. There you have it. I've got a 2-channel dash cam in my truck that's going to provide all the convenience and safety that I could possibly want. Some people might need 3 channels, some even 4, like if you're driving for Uber Eats or Uber or one of those types of services, or maybe you rent out your vehicle. Check out REDTIGER either through my Amazon link below or on their webpage. Amazon's currently 44% off or up to as low as 40% off. And on REDTIGER, you get about $90 off whichever one you pick. Later, once the current promotions run out, use Driving Forward B to get 32% off of whatever camera you decide works best for you. Like, subscribe, comment. Thanks so much for watching. I really look forward to seeing you in the next one.